Rob and Swisha, we are back with Herman James from the Rant with Herman James.
How's it going, guys?
We're good.
Right,
We're
man.
good, man. Cold. How's it out there? You are in California, right?
I am. I'm up in Sacramento. We have had our first bit of rain. I think we've had 3 days of rain right now. So,
Okay.
of course, California's freaking out and people are afraid they're going to die.
I was
Is it
gonna
like
say,
rain
like,
isn't a thing in California?
Is fires like the norm? How does it go? How does it go out there?
What is this? Is it a hot?
My house is.
Yeah, it's like a clusterfuck of weathers. We haven't had rain in a good 5 or so years.
What?
So we had a massive drought.
Yes.
And everyone thinks everywhere in California is Baywatch, and
Yeah,
it's not San
it is.
Diego everywhere.
Mark Hamill's
It's,
all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, there are beautiful women all over the state of California. It's fantastic. But we had no water up in Sacramento area, so the lakes were so low. There was no boating. There's no swimming. There's no thongs. So it's not as fun as it should be.
That's what I was thinking. Like, fuck. We go like a couple weeks, and it's like every other day you water your lawn. Like, how does it go 5 years on a drought?
Yeah, it was bad. The market for painting your lawn green was huge here.
Whoa, they use paint?
Oh, yeah. You were allowed to paint your lawn green. And the cities were paying you to put rocks in.
I was going to say, what about AstroTurf or, like, just some green cement?
Yeah, you could do it. Your house could look like 8 Mile from freaking Slim Shady, and it would be totally okay.
So, like, explain,
Wow.
like, so it finally rains after, like, 5 years.
Yeah.
You get a fucking rain. Do people just, like, do cars stop operating? Like, what happens? What is the chaos that ensues?
Yeah. People
That actually exactly happened.
don't go out.
It started raining, and there's a little bit of hail, and the cars on the streets locked up and got in a car accident. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? It's just rain. They walked the cars.
That makes me think I lived in West Virginia for a few years, and when it would rain, like, you would see cars doing like 10, 15 under the speed limit with their four-ways on.
Wow.
Like, it's like, yeah, like, people
They're
don't know how to
stupid.
drive. Yeah.
No, they're bad. And I drive a lesbian mobile. I have a Subaru wagon. So, oh yeah, I've got like the quintessential like lesbian mobile from the 90s. If you saw Ellen or anything else, you'd think I'm a lesbian, but I'm driving by people like 90 in the rain on the freeway.
You're rocking. You're like Mad Max and that shit.
So
Oh,
now,
yeah, I got
are
a
you...
Melissa Etheridge tape stuck in the tape deck, and I'm good to go. No one's worried about me.
So then the question is, are you originally from California or no?
Or are you a lesbian?
I'm absolutely a lesbian for sure. I love the pussy, but
Yes.
long story short, I grew up most of my life in California. I'm actually from Staten Island, New York.
Ah,
Okay.
so you understand.
You
So
got it.
get
You got it.
I got it. Yeah.
Even in just your blood, you know.
You know that, like, what the fuck,
Yeah.
you people, like, it's
Come
just
on.
rain. Get over it.
Oh yeah, my parents taught me to be an offensive driver, not a defensive or an aggressive driver. I just don't wait for people to fuck up to tell me to respond. I get around them before they do it.
Nice, nice. I want to ask, too, before we go any further, Herman, is there a nickname for Herman? Is there, like, Hermy, like...
Herms. The Herms.
Are you the Hermmeister? Like, how does it go? I don't know, because, like, I got Rob, or I could be Robbie, I could be Bobby.
Yeah, and my full name is, big reveal here, my full name is Jonathan, so it could be John, Johnny,
Johnny.
Slim, one of those.
But is there a nickname for Herman?
I get that quite a bit, and my response is always the same. I don't need one. How many Hermans do you know?
Right, that's what I was going to say. I don't know.
I know a guy whose last name was Herman. Not a first name
Pee-wee?
Herman, though.
Yeah,
That was a
Pee-wee.
It was
got
a
arrested for
Patrick.
masturbating in a
No, it was
14
actually
years.
it was actually a dude that I know. His name was Pat Herman.
Yeah, but was it with 2 N's?
I don't know, man. I never looked at his last name spelled. I
Yeah,
just know
see,
that
I
his
usually
name was
get-
Pat
I've
Herman.
got my one black friend is named Herman, or my fish.
My dick's named Herman.
They got the big Herm.
Big Herm's over there.
Is that the nickname?
That's
Herm?
the nickname. Big Herm.
Big Herm.
Big Herm.
Big
There you
Herm.
go.
You Goddamn. I like that. I like that. And just talk about your show, dude. How long have you been doing it?
I've been doing the show, when did it start? About a year and a half now. And essentially it got started because I say a lot of stupid shit in regular times, and there are people that either don't understand what I'm saying, so then I've got to explain things to them, which is redundant, and I hate doing the same thing twice. except for the girlfriend. That's fine.
Yes, you have to explain yourself to your girlfriend.
And then it became like an idea of almost a soapbox. And so the rant was formed because that's really what I'm doing, and it was the most ununique name ever to have because there are so many rants out there. But after a few months of me incessantly posting on social media, you can actually Google Herman James, and I'm on the top 3 in Google.
Cool.
So
awesome.
It's done very well, and we've become global, and now we've got people hitting us up to come on the show, which is nice. And I've got a bunch of local sponsors here recently for the breweries because we drink on the show, and now breweries are actually donating and sponsoring.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. I know you recently did a show with Bumwine Bob, who we've had on years ago, and he's a great guy. And you did a show about getting sponsors. And I do you have any insight, because it's one of the hardest thing in podcasting.
It is, and I think it's because every time you look at every sort of posting, you ask anyone about it. Even if you look at like the Pat Flynn podcasting stuff. Not that it's wrong, it's just fucked up because no one is getting right off the bat, 10,000 downloads on their first 2 episodes.
Yes.
And the people that say they are, I call horse shit. And if they are, then they are doing what the hacking podcast talked about. That's a redundancy. And they're doing the Bangladeshi people where they're paying them the $100 and they're doing all the downloads.
Yeah, I agree. I think the most we've ever gotten is 102, like just genuine downloads, and I won't pay. I won't pay. It's always apparent, like you said, like, and I feel like unless you're Joe Rogan or Bill Burr, you're not gonna get that massive amount of downloads.
And I think when we first started out, granted we've been doing this for 6 years now. 6 or I guess it would be 7 because we had another show that we started before that.
Yeah.
And when we first started out, being that real green, we saw the Facebook like boost your post or whatever.
Yes, we did that
and
once.
so we did it like in the very beginning, and like all the people that liked it were like, oh, you just made a Facebook and you're some weird foreign name that clearly isn't listening to our show. And we were just like, nope, this is not what we're looking for, and we have never done it since.
Mm-hmm. And see, I think there's a give and a take to that. I have done the Facebook paid for the promo things, and I think it's a little more difficult than it really has to be because you can either mass spray and pray and hope you get everyone, or you can find the market you want to. But the issue is that everything you look at tells you to go to your market. If it's like you guys or my show where it is considered a variety show, there's no fucking market for that. There's not one set of people. You're not, one-nippled moms with cancer breastfeeding. Like, that's a very niche market.
Yeah.
So you can specifically go to those guys. So it's different. So it's a little bit harder to get to. But a buddy of mine who helped me start the podcast, we started taking note of what we did and what we tried to do and what worked and what didn't work. And actually, we created a checklist that actually goes through everything we did to promote ourselves on social media that got us out further than I would have thought without doing it. Because everything else says, unless you're getting, 1,000 your first episode, 10,000 episodes, you get paid, X amount of money per 1,000 listens. Well, how the hell are you supposed to do that if you don't know where you're starting out and where you're going to? So it's hard with no roadmap, and with the roadmap, you get very disgruntled.
What do you mean?
Like you...
Well,
with a roadmap, you're saying you get disgruntled?
Because you're not getting there fast enough? Or is
it more like, I have a plan, why is this not working?
Say again?
Is it like, I have a plan, why is this not working?
Yeah, your idea of success if you base it off of the Joe Rogans, the Dak Shepherds, or those guys, you're not going to be successful. There's no way you're going to be that successful because you're not a name brand before you start doing it. And then you start marketing out and you're not getting responses back. So now you think, well, I'm not getting 10,000 downloads per episode. How am I supposed to get a sponsor? How am I supposed to be a featured player? How am I supposed to get recognized? So the idea of, and it's not a pod fade, but it just feels like you're getting beat up. And I think that's where you start getting disgruntled. You're not getting the results you expected to get. And I think that's where people stop trying or stop doing the initial thing that they want to do was the podcast. The podcast for me was something I wanted to do because it's fun and it's entertaining for me. But I also want to break even on it.
It would be nice. It would be nice to at least either not make money, but break even, or make a little money for fucking beers. Just beers.
I definitely still spend a lot of money on this. Like at least $20 a month at this point, but more in the past.
Slim has put out for the equipment, for all of it.
Subscriptions and stuff like that.
Yep.
I just kind of ignore it. I never had up like what that is, but yeah, it'd be nice. But it's also like it's kind of that double edge where I feel like people that get into it because they're like, oh, I'm gonna be like famous doing this, or like this is like the thing I want to do, and they always like it's always that this is what I want to do, and I'm gonna make a lot of money doing this. And
that's it. I want to be Howard Stern.
You gotta cut off that people are gonna know me. No. I want to do this because it sounds cool, and that's it. Don't go any further than that. They'll say, I want to do this because people are going to know who I am, or because I want to be popular, because I want people to like me. Fuck that shit. I want to do this because I like it, and that's it.
And my name's in the show,
And my name's in the show. Thank you.
See, I am of two minds when it comes to it. I want people to like me, and I want them to hate me. Because even if you hate me, you're still talking about me.
Yes.
Because you listened.
Yes. If I pissed you off, you're gonna listen more than if I didn't. I do subscribe to that.
Yeah, you got a guest I had on the podcast is Woodstock wins. Woody wins. He is a sports gambler. He puts out his own checklist. He does all this stuff, and he had guys send him hate mail and outright just talked shit on him on Twitter hard. And said every bet that he puts up, they will bet against.
Oh, my God.
So he put them up, and for 2 solid months, he did something that is unparalleled when it comes to sports betting. He hit 85% win rate.
Oh, wow.
So the guy betting against him lost every bet.
Prove them wrong. I love that. That's so good.
It's like, yeah, you want to troll me? Great, troll me. You're still listening. You're still drawing attention to me. And that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And coming into podcasting with the mentality that I want to make money, if that's what you come into it, that's what you stick with.
Yes.
And if you came into podcasting that you just want to have fun, that's what you come in with. That's what you stick with. And that's how you grow.
I worked in radio years ago, and I was told, no publicity is bad. Even if you make somebody mad, that's still free publicity. Like that's something you got.
Yeah, it works out real well. I mean, I've been in marketing and sales for a majority of my life. You might not like me, but you know my name. And that's what matters to me, because I can walk into a room and people are like, oh, it's Herman. Or, hey, Herman. Yeah. One way or the other. You know who I am.
Yes. So, either way, love or hate, you know.
Works out well. And so that's what it comes down to. So I think if you're going to come into podcasting and you want to do it for fun, great. But I honestly hate when people tell me, oh, this is supposed to be fun, just do it for fun. No, I masturbate for fun. I'm not trying to get paid for that. Yeah. I'm doing this because it's entertaining, and I would like to break even at the very least. Yes, my Lipson's $20 a month, and all the equipment I purchased. If I can get my money back on that and get $20 a month, or even the beer like you said I drink while I'm recording.
Yes.
I'm okay
I need to have this beer to do a show.
Yeah. I'm not going to be funny. I'm not going to be interested in anything unless I got a few drinks in it.
Yeah, it works. And we've got in Sacramento a massive brewery, enterprises. So we have what's called the Barrel District. Within Sacramento, we have roughly, the area of Sacramento, I think between 50 and 100 breweries. So we are jam-packed with beer.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a good.
Oh, it's fantastic.
See, I'm a big fan of craft beer, but I live in Jersey, and Jersey the laws are just really shitty, where they really do everything they can to fuck
Jersey's craft. There's a lot of shit.
Brewers. There's still a lot of great when I first got into craft brewing about 10 years ago, there was no breweries in Jersey, where now it's saw a resurgence, I guess, and there's a lot of breweries in Jersey, but still you go to PA, Pennsylvania, or anywhere, the breweries you go to are great. They serve great food. You're not going to get that in Jersey because breweries in Jersey are not allowed. They're not allowed to serve food.
God.
Really?
No, you are. If you're a brewery, if you're a brewery in New Jersey, you are not allowed to serve food because the restaurant owners were like, "Well, it's fucking bullshit that they don't have to have a liquor license," so they made laws to make it harder for them to take away that business.
Horseshit.
Yeah, it's bullshit because breweries make the best food because they pair their food with the beer they make, and they'll use a lot of the ingredients they use for their beers for their food. So it's a real shame.
Yeah, it's a clusterfuck when it comes to that. And in Sacramento, not a lot of the breweries here make food, but they've paired up with our local food truck conglomerates that we got. So we have a food truck that's stationed at the brewery on specific days. So you do have food and beer, but the overhead is not on the restaurant, which is cool. And let's be honest, after I've had 4 yards of beer, I probably want a pretzel or I want some nachos or a steak.
Right.
And now they've got food trucks to keep me there.
Yeah. Goddamn.
Although it is expensive to drink craft beer, so if you're doing it on a regular basis, that is ridiculous because I can't afford to go out and do that all the time. That's just stupid.
So I've switched recently. Throughout my entire 20s, I was into craft beer, and now being 30, I'm like, I need something a little stronger. So now I'm into craft cocktails, which is actually cheaper because I can get drunk quicker, and it's cheaper to make a really good homemade cocktail than it is to drink craft beer.
Nice. You see, and I typically will drink just Crown Royal, go that route for it, I'll drink some scotch for it. But if we're going out to a brewery, I'm looking specifically on the boards, to see what the highest alcohol volume is on any of those ones for price, or what's the largest one I can get right off the bat, because I'm just going to go in hard off the bat and figure it out, because when you're paying $8 to $15 for a beer, that is just a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
It is the idea of supporting local, but I can still go and buy a case of Corona for $20, and I've got a keg in my house here now that cost me $90.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Nice.
Yeah.
Herman, I heard you say, too, where you live, Halloween's a big deal.
Really?
It is. For the neighborhood I moved into, it is Stepfordville. I bought a house when we walked in, and there was a group of women in tracksuits pushing strollers down the street. So that threw me off because I've never lived in that nice of a neighborhood before.
Right.
But they do that,
this?
and then for Halloween, everyone kind of does their own thing, and throughout the years, they've gotten more and more people doing things. So I love Halloween, so I put up a spooky garage with mannequins and blood and horror things out there, and we bribed the parents to come to our house with Jello shots.
That's what I thought. I thought I heard you talk about drinking
cool.
with parents.
Yeah, we bribed the parents to bring their kids for candy. The parents stayed for shots, and we didn't do it the first year I lived here, and we learned that there wasn't many people coming around because they were all going to the house doing liquored up cocoa.
Is that what it is? Because I have no trick-or-treaters. No trick-or-treaters.
Yeah, Rob and I have spoken this before, where when I was growing up, I grew up, we're in South Jersey, and I grew up around here, and when I first started growing up, trick-or-treating was a big thing. Every single house you go to was giving you candy. Yeah. Now, you don't even see trick-or-treaters on the street. Yeah. It's what the fuck happened?
They're imported to my neighborhood. They're literally imported in. They're not from here. The parents are dropping them off in fucking caravans. They're like the Mexicans. They're getting dropped off here at the border, and coming in.
Wow.
Yeah, I went there.
So that's the town to be at. That's the town to be at. Because
we didn't know that was going on there, and then we found out that one house was doing looking up cocoa. So we thought the year after, well, fuck it, we'll just do Jello shots. That's easier than doing like cocoa for everyone and that big of a vat. So we did that, and then we became an overnight success.
Nice.
And then so the year after, people were like, "Oh, we saw your Halloween thing last year." I'm like, no, you didn't. You saw the liquor. So they came for that, and then I made this really heavy, it's probably about 40 pounds, an A-frame out of old lumber, and I wrote with the rattle can all shaky, "Candy with an arrow," like you would see down like a pedophile's van. And I put it at the end of our court, and that drew people in, and so now we've been doing Jello shots, and since we've been consistently doing that, there's about 7 houses in our area, and I live in a giant kidney bean area, almost like a pseudo-gated community, that there's 7 houses doing just straight liquor. People are coming and getting shots, or they're just trading liquor, and parents are getting blitzed walking their kids around.
That's what these developments need.
That's it.
Yeah.
I need to start mixing cocktails.
I always thought it would be
parents.
cool to send someone out like trick or treating for alcohol, but I feel like there's got to be a blend of both. Got to be a blend of both.
You set something up with, if you're like anything for like this neighborhood where these people send out like, who's gonna have their lights on for trick or treaters? Like, well, my door's gonna be open. That's cool. So you'll see, because I've got a giant creepy freaking A-frame at the end of my court. So you'll see that I'm down there, and if they have that in your guys' area over there, or just put Jello shots for parents on the door, people will start showing up.
Shots.
What kind of Jello shots do you do? Do you mix it up, or is it like a main, like, this is the Jello shot we give out?
The girl wants to do the colors, so we stick with the green, I think it's the lime, and then the orange.
Okay.
Because that's
cool.
Halloween-ish.
Oh, yes.
See,
I was going to ask if
I would think like white and orange would be a cool one, because you do like the candy corn kind of color themes.
That would work. And then our friend let us know at a wedding this year how to make heavily liquored up Jello shots, because too much vodka or tequila, they don't coagulate or whatever you want to call it, or congeal.
Yeah.
You buy gelatin itself, which looks weird, but it's clear.
Yeah. Yep.
And you just throw that in the mix.
Oh.
And you can make super liquored up ones, and it is
So you're saying you buy the Jello mix and gelatin?
No, that's next year. Next year we're making blackout shots because it's on a Saturday. No one's got to worry about going to work.
So next year is Jello and gelatin.
Yeah.
And then
it's Jello and gelatin. We're pulling out the kegerator. We're blocking off the street. We're actually having a Halloween block party after the kids get done trick-or-treating.
What? So when the adults come, like, do you have to tell them, like, hey, if you're not fucking dressed up, you're not getting a shot?
Ooh, is that? Yeah, I was wondering if that's how it works.
No, that one we don't do because most of the parents don't dress up, and the only parents I want to yell at are the parents that are dressed up, and their kids in a fucking stroller because he's 18 months old and they're trick-or-treating.
That
kid doesn't eat candy. He can't even fucking chew it.
I'd bring Slim in a stroller. Yeah,
so I have a spandex Power Rangers costume, and I don't like to wear any underwear with it, so my penis is very pronounced with the balls. Would you serve me some? Would I get the best of the best?
I just not have to see it.
You don't want to see that, Herman.
The only thing I miss about Halloween is I miss being in my 20s and in college, because Halloween in your 20s is when every woman wants to dress up like a sexy something but looks like a whore. And it's fantastic. Sexy kitten. It's just like the smallest pieces of like cloth over the boobs and a horn and some lashes like on their face.
Sexy schoolboy.
Yeah.
Just as a teenager, when we were in high school, like me and my group, like just like the Halloween parties were the only time we had a chance of getting laid, because that was the only time we'd get all the girls that were kind of friends with us to like come together for whatever reason. Like, yeah, we'll come to your Halloween party.
That works. You gotta take advantage of that. You gotta do what they do in rom-coms and put on like the same mask as like the cool kid, so that they think it's you. Well, that was nerds. That's what that was. That was nerds.
Herman, We had to wrap this up, dude, but it's been a blast. It's been a blast.
It has been my pleasure, guys.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you,
It's been
Herman.
ours as well. Where can everybody find you?
Everyone can go to thehermanjames.com. That's going to be the website that houses all of the past episodes. I am also on literally every single podcast platform that is possibly out there. Or just look at your smart speaker and tell Alexa, play the Rant with Herman James and Friends. And it will play the podcast. I've literally littered the market.
Good. I want you all over. Yeah, I want you littering everywhere, Herman.
All over your face.
You on Podbean? That's the only one I use. Can I find you on Podbean?
You know, I'm sure I can hack Podbean too.
All right, get that fucking shit.
Get that fucking shit, bro.
I was pissed off because I was looking for a podcast that somebody was like, "Hey, it's a good podcast," and I searched it on Podbeam and it wasn't on Podbeam.
wasn't on
and I'm
Podbeam?
like,
Fuck
what
you.
the fuck is this shit?
You're not on my shit.
Well, that is great. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys having me on there. I appreciate you on the show. I'd like to come on some other time, so let me know. We can do it again, guys.
Definitely, dude. We'll talk soon, my friend.
Talk to you guys. You guys have a good night.
You too, my friend. Have a good Christmas. A Cribmas.
Cribmas. There you go. You guys do it. Festivus for the rest of us.
Well, better Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking put some shit in your chimney. Yeah.
Oh man, just don't go in my basement.